Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Brief.
July 1st, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's self-imposed deadline to declare plans to annex parts of Judea and Samaria. But Israelis are being left waiting for any word on the matter. Instead, Foreign Minister Gabi Ashkenazi on the Army morning radio saying that he believes it's unlikely anything major will occur during the day. Netanyahu meeting with United States Ambassador David Friedman and White House peace envoy Avi Berkowitz on Tuesday, appearing to indicate that today's target will be missed.
דיברתי על שאלת הריבונות שאנחנו עובדים עליה בימים אלה ונמשיך לעבוד עליה בימים הקרובים.
Reports now the Trump administration is pushing Israel to offer the Palestinians some sort of compensation in exchange for unilaterally expanding across some 30% of Judea and Samaria. That's the amount of territory designated under the United States Peace to Prosperity Plan. Among the ideas is transferring an area to the Palestinians where they can build without limits, or redefining some areas of Area C, where Israel maintains full control, to become parts of Area B, where Palestinians have civil control but shared security control with Israel. Meantime, as the Palestinian Authority fails to rally domestic outcry of more than a few hundred protesters in the West Bank, memories are being rustled up instead down south. Seeing the West Bank apathy, some Palestinians, like this vineyard owner in the coastal enclave of Gaza, are calling for an armed resistance in order to prevent Israel expanding over some 30% of the West Bank.
بدون مقاومة مسلحة مش مقاومة سلمية مش مجلس أمن مش جمعية عمومية مش قرارات دولية مقاومة مسلحة واستشهاد إرقاب تستشهد ما بصير حل في الضفة الغربية نهائي.
The thinking behind this goes back to 2005, when Israel pulled some 8,500 settlers from Gaza, in part due to Palestinian attacks at the time. To remind you, Israel captured Gaza and the West Bank, along with East Jerusalem, in the 1967 Six-Day War. And some 15 years ago, Israel unilaterally withdrew from Gaza to improve its security and international status in the absence of peace talks. Now, a garden stands where an Israeli settlement once stood, and a sign reading in Arabic, "You are 99 kilometers away from Jerusalem." 84-year-old Rafah resident Mohammed Saydam saying if it can happen in Gaza, it can happen elsewhere.
تجربتنا في غزة إنه فيش شيء مستحيل. يعني ما توهموش في المستوطنات والبنى كانوا في غزة بانيين حاجات وجناين ومزارع وتستغرب يعني وحمامات وبلاوي لكن ربنا سبحانه وتعالى لما أراد كله زاح.
Another massive spike in Israeli COVID-19 cases overnight, with more than 930 new infections reported by the Ministry of Health since Tuesday morning. Ministry officials now taking the gloves off, pushing to reimpose strict lockdowns across dozens of cities in the country in efforts to contain the outbreak before it's too late. And we're talking actual lockdowns, more than just restricted zones like we have at the moment, where people are free to leave their homes and even the restricted zones for certain purposes. Likely areas to be affected include the cities of Dimona, Kiryat Gat, Ramle, and Ashdod. Ashdod being the newest COVID-19 hotspot with rapidly rising numbers. Similarly, the Foreign Ministry saying that plans to resume international tourism and flights by August 1 are going down the drain due to the current infection rates. Israel is falling far short of the target set by the EU for visitation of just 16 coronavirus cases per every 100,000 people. This newest infection spike in Israel comes after another 750 new cases the day before, and it makes for the second highest 24-hour jump in Israel since the start of the pandemic in January. This also bringing the new active infection numbers to over 7,800, with nearly 60 in severe condition, and the death toll holding at 320. To make matters worse, the long-term effects of the virus now painting a grim picture. Doctors reporting that weeks after testing negative, more than half of COVID-19 patients are still suffering from health issues and coronavirus-like symptoms. Many complaining of pain, lung function that won't go back to normal, and a host of other serious psychological issues.
That's all for now, but for more news from Israel, remember to like ILTV on Facebook and on Instagram, and to subscribe to us on YouTube. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.